All right, welcome back to the 2025 Fantasy Football Kickoff for Tatanka Blanco. Phenoms Part 2. I'm in a few leagues, but this league is based right out here in Texas, America. That's not where I live. I live in Oklahoma. I think I'm the one-off. I'm the only guy that lives in Oklahoma. Probably why I dominate the league. A lot of these guys can't spell. Everybody watched college football last week. Number one Texas played, and we all know how that turned out. Turns out they're not number one after 1 week for the first time they were ever ranked number one preseason. So, it just goes to show, probably going to win this league. Last year, just to recap, by a pure stroke of luck, a team in the league won. I don't even know his name. I got to look up Wrecking Crew. He won it, apparently. Is he good at fantasy? I guess he won it, so he's just a tad above average, but he's not really that good. It's not a very good fantasy mind. Also in the league, there's myself, Tatanka Blanco. Maybe you've heard of me. A lot of people have. You have Wrecking Crew. This is Cody. Willie Nelson, Kyle Brooks, Cody Watts, by the way, for Wrecking Crew. Red Nuts, Justin Metter. Rebuilding Season, Mitchell Bentley. Rusty Buckets of Dookie, Rusty Norton. The name fits him, at least his fantasy style. He's a good guy. He's just terrible at fantasy, but hang on. This is a new year. We'll get there. We have Better Call Persall. That's Will Turlington. Downtown St. Brown's Billy Jack Jansen, and then Lamborghini. Oh, what a nerd, man. Kane Rice, what a nerdy name. And bye week Ross Houston. All right, so that's the league. So let's just get right to it. So it's Thursday right now. The games start in a couple of hours. I'm going to go right to the scoreboard. I'll get right into it. The first matchup, because I'm the one doing this, so I'm always up top. So Downtown St. Brown versus yours truly, Tatanka Blanco. Just to look at this roster, this is my roster on the season. Mahomes, Barkley, Achane, Tyreek Hill, Drake London, Travis Kelce, Kenneth Walker. Steelers defense and Chase McLaughlin is my kicker. Today we're versing Lamar Jackson, Kyron Williams, Ramondre Stevenson, garbage. Amon St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, probably not good. Sam Laporta, Xavier Worthy, terrible. Vikings defense, terrible. Cameron Dicker, he did kick a 70-yard field goal, which has never been done before, so that's actually amazing that it happened. But that's the matchup today. I'm just eyeing this. The projected total is 108 for Tatanka Blanco versus 99 for Downtown St. Brown. I don't remember anybody's record last year. Probably be good for a recap, but I don't remember. It's a new season. I try to forget it since I forgot how I lost, but I think somebody paid me off. I took a dive, you know what I mean? So anyway, Downtown St. Brown, he's been good, but that's because he was riding the high of the excitement the first time that he put a gay Broncos flag in front of his front gate. He's from that area. As we know, Brokeback Mountain's probably his favorite. So for you, Downtown St. Brown, I'll give you two-finger salute. Okay, so what do I think is going to happen here other than the projected totals? This one I see landslide victory for Tatanka Blanco. Downtown St. Brown, he's not going to have any answer. Tonight's the very first game of the year. Philadelphia Eagles play the Dallas Cowgirls, and I think Saquon Barkley, I think he has 40 fantasy points today. Let's just move on. We're calling that game Tatanka Blanco, no questions. Next game, we have Rusty Buckets of Dookie versus Wrecking Crew. So we have somebody who historically, though, we know you have a ring. See, I'm talking like this is for everybody, but really it's just for the league. My bad, Rusty. Rusty, he hasn't been as good as he should have been in the past. He does have one ring. He still talks about it all the time. Like, that's a big, whatever. So he was playing Wrecking Crew, who's a two-time in a row champion, I believe, probably because I took a dive. But Rusty's lineup tonight, Josh Allen, Ashton Genty, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Jameson Williams, Tyler Warren, Amarion Hampton, Rams defense, and Cam Little as his kicker. Wait, did I get something wrong? Which guy kicked the 70-yard field goal? I think your guy kicked the 70-yard field goal. Whatever, man. It doesn't matter. It's the kicker. If you don't have McLaughlin, probably not going to be good. Wrecking Crew's lineup is Bo Nix. He probably stays with Billy on the weekends. Wrecking Crew does. Bo Nix, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey, Mark Andrews, Cortland Sutton, the Commanders as the defense, as we know as the Redskins, and Jake Elliott. Just looking at this lineup, I know this is going to be crazy talk, especially for the two-time defending champion. And if you watched past seasons, well, you did. It's for the league. So for the guys watching this, Rusty, you were terrible, absolutely terrible. Buckets of Dookie. It says it in the name. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Well, ESPN projects Wrecking Crew to win by 1 point, 100-99. I'm actually taking Rusty Buckets of Dookie on this one. This is crazy. I think this is your season. You can't. I was going to say that you can't suck forever, but that's not entirely true because Mitchell's been terrible forever. What's your name, Mitchell? I don't even know his name. He's not good at fantasy. Who are you, Mitchell? Oh, rebuilding season. He's still rebuilding, guys. Listen, there's nothing wrong with rebuilding. That's the thing. You got to create a dynasty. The Cowboys, they've been rebuilding 30 years. You know what I mean? Sometimes soon's got to be their time because they've been doing so much rebuilding. But anyway, on this one, I'm taking Rusty Buckets of Dookie by 5. So next we got Willie Nelson, which is Kyle. You know, that's you. Lamborghini, which is Kane Rice. Probably the stupidest name of fantasy I've ever heard. I don't know. It sounds like a stripper at a real skanky strip club in Tulsa that burned down called Escapades. That's what it sounds like. Willie Nelson's lineups: Baker Mayfield, Alvin Kamara, R.J. Harvey, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Brock Bowers, Jalen Warren, Rams defense, and Brandon Aubrey is the kicker, Dallas's kicker. Probably have no points tonight as they'll get shut out. But Lamborghini, his lineup, Kane, Kyler Murray, Chuba Hubbard, which, by the way, he stole right before me in the draft, so that's not appreciated. DeAndre Smith, CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, Broncos defense, and Chris Boswell as the kicker. So, with that being said, just real quick glance at this. I'm seeing a really terrible lineup for both teams. Actually, Lamborghini's team is pretty good. I hate to say it because Willie Nelson, nobody wants to start the season off 0-1. Projections, though, Willie Nelson, you're projected to win by 2, 97-95. I'm actually, no offense, I'm taking Lamborghini on this, and I don't want to because it's a stupid name for fantasy, but I'm taking him because I believe his lineup looks better, and if I'm not mistaken, he stole 1 or 2 of my picks in front of me in the draft, so, he's definitely got a head on his shoulders. The lineup looks pretty good. Let's go to Better Call Persall, which is Will, versus Red Nuts, Justin Metter, non-existent guy, doesn't show up for drafts. Downtown St. Brown is forgiven because he would always show up. He's in a different state. The other guys were probably at their house 3 miles down the road. But Better Call Persall, Jaden Daniels, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown, Malik Neighbors, Amika Egbuka, if that's how you say it, Tucker Kraft, Travion Henderson, Cardinals defense, and Jake Bates as his kicker. That's Detroit in a dome. Probably be okay this year. Versus Red Nuts lineup: Joe Burrow, James Cook, Tony Pollard, Justin Jefferson, who's still questionable. And to be honest, I didn't go in here to look what their problem is if they're playing. I'm sure he is. All my 100 mock drafts told me that he'll be ready by day 1. You have Jackson Smith and Nigba, George Kittle, DJ Moore, Chiefs defense, and Tyler Bass is your kicker. That's Buffalo's kicker. To be honest, he probably will be the leading kicker this year besides McLaughlin on extra points alone because I think Buffalo is projected to score 80 points a game. It's not a shocker. They got Josh Allen, though I don't have Josh Allen, which should be good for whoever I said had him. Who did I say have him? Yeah, that's right, Rusty Buckets. He's terrible. He's probably going to carry your team. So based on this lineup, honestly, Better Call Persall, he's projected 103-96. That's ESPN. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Will wins this by about 15. So Better Call Pearsall, you're a winner today by 15 points is my guess. Next is rebuilding season. As we said, Mitchell's still rebuilding just like the Cowboys, but one day's their day. And I know all Cowboys fans right this second think This year's their year, except for you traded off your best defensive player, who's one of the best defensive players you've had in quite a while, and he's gone. And now everybody acts like he sucks because he's not there, but that's typical Cowboys fan stuff, about like OU Sooners fans, probably about like now Texas Longhorn fans, probably bandwagon jumpers. I'm sure your favorite team's probably TCU or Baylor now. But anyway, here's the lineup. Rebuilding season. Let me just get it out of the way. You're projected to lose by ESPN. Bye week's projected to win 98-97. But here's the lineup for rebuilding season. Brock Purdy, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Brian Thomas Jr., DK Metcalf, David Njoku, James Conner, Texans defense, and then Cairo Santos. And then for bye week, non-existent Ross Houston. Nobody even knows who he is. Nobody knows who he looks like. We haven't seen him in 3 years. Could be his last season, according to the Wizard. Probably going to kick some people out of the league. But Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, Dallas Goedert, George Pickens, Lions defense, and Harrison Butker as the kicker. And I'm going to be honest, right after I read rebuilding season's lineup, I thought I was taking it. Apparently, this is the first go. There's no take. It's take one right here. Bye week. Your team apparently really doesn't suck either. So this one, I don't like to personally go with ESPN, but I'm going to say Bijan Robinson carries it. I'm going to go crazy number here. I think rebuilding season. I think you win this one by 2. I'm going against ESPN. So that's really it. I'd love to read what the Wizard wrote. It was something stupid. Let me summarize. Winning season, back-to-back champion. Guys not showing up to the draft, 4 people, probably out of the league next year, something to that effect. And then he gets down the Wizard and he's making some calls. I don't know. I mean, they could all be accurate. I don't know where it lined up with my projections. The Wizard personally is stupid. For anybody that watches this who's not a part of the league, the Wizard is somebody who picks the games every week. I'm doing this now, but I'm not the Wizard. The Wizard is a guy who gets on the league info and makes predictions and has for the last 10 years. Nobody knows who it is, but I've met the Wizard a couple times, and he probably helped hang the gay Broncos flag out front of Billy's house. So, my projection on the season, I mean, I honestly think I'm probably going to win the thing. No shocker to anybody. But just ESPN projections alone, just based on projections, I got a solid squad. I did have a number 1 draft. That's not my words. That's ESPN ranking that. I am projected the highest total. I think I win by 15. I'll probably win by the most of that. I'm going to outscore the league. It's not a shocker, guys. You know what I mean? By the way, and then I'll get this and I'll end it in just a minute. This year at our league, we usually play basketball. We didn't play basketball this year. I don't know. Some people were overweight, not feeling good. They had no self-confidence. I came in just sharpshooting. You know what I mean? I approached it. I rolled up this past weekend preparing just to sharpshoot the basket. It didn't happen just because people were lazy. Some people acted like they were cold. Some people didn't show up. I mean, it would have basically been like 3-on-3 because we had 4 people not show up. I mean, we didn't really have the crowd we had this year, but it's going to be a great fantasy season. I can't speak for everybody. I mean, just right off the board, Rusty, could be a different year. Your lineup looks pretty good. Lamborghini, his lineup looks okay, but it's just a real stupid name. And because his name's so stupid, probably going to have a terrible year. I think Red Nuts falls apart. I think Ross Houston. I think some of the guys that didn't show up, probably not going to have a good year. Downtown St. Brown, nobody wants to go 0-1. I'm just saying 0-1 for St. Brown, 0-1 for Wrecking Crew, 0-1 for Willie Nelson, though I don't like that. 0-1 for Red Nuts and 0-1 for Houston. I mean, that's it. That's summarizing. Love everybody. I'm going to get back to you later with the recap.